Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Spartan Stadium for our first video cast live on the Northeast Sports Network and also on PEGTV in Rutland, and that on Channel 20, as it is our first video cast of college field hockey between the defending NAC champion Castleton Spartans and the Husson Eagles. And I'm Jack Healey on board with Brooke Towsley, who played on the NAC championship team here at Castleton a year ago. Brooke will be with me during the first half. She is our field hockey expert during the course of the video cast. Adam Largess is our producer. Chris Thayer will be down on the field talking to us periodically. And also with us both Katie Bona and Lindsay Marcotte. They are our camera people. And Mike Valentine representing Channel 20 on PEGTV. So it is Castleton and Husson, and two teams that met in the NAC semis a year ago. Castleton entering this afternoon's matchup against Husson with a 3-game winning streak over the Eagles dating back to last year's 5-2 victory in the NAC semifinals. The Eagles 1-3 this year, losing their last game to Bowdoin 6-0. And last Tuesday, Castleton suffered a close 2-1 loss to Union, yielding the go-ahead goal to the Dutchwomen with 23-24 remaining in the second half. Now, Courtney Nolan cashed in, the only goal for the Spartans in the loss. Nolan currently leads the team in goals and has 5 and in total points with 13. Offensively, Husson is led by junior forward Courtney Allen, who leads the squad in goals with 4 and points with 9. Since 2003, the Spartans hold a 7-3 advantage over the Eagles, including a 2-1 lead in playoff games. The two teams have split NAC semifinal games against each other in the last 2 years. Castleton returns to non-conference action tomorrow. The Spartans hosting RPI at 2 o'clock here at Spartan Stadium. Husson comes into the game at 1-1 in conference play now under Coach Katie Flaherty. And Husson is standing at 1-3 overall. And the Castleton Spartans under Coach Tammy Landon at 2-0 in NAC play, 2-6 overall. Farmington at 2-0 in conference play. Castleton at 2-0 in conference play. Then it's Husson at 1-1, LaSalle at 1-2, Thomas at 1-2, Riviera's 0-2, and Simmons at 0-2 on the year. Now, I promised Brooke Towsley, who is making her debut here in field hockey with us on NSN and Channel 20, I promised Brooke I'm not going to put her on a spot, and she's here really to interpret a lot of the rules and so forth as we go along here in the game. But just quickly, Brooke, you played on this team last year. It was a North Atlantic Conference championship for you. That's something you'll never forget.
No, not at all. It was an awesome experience, and the girls are great. So I miss all of them. I miss playing.
And, of course, you're back. Now, what are you doing now? A post-grad here at Castleton, or what's the situation?
No, I actually work at the Rutland Rec Department. I'm a program assistant, and I coach the Rutland Middle School field hockey team.
Ah, you do?
Yep.
Okay. And, of course, a busy time of the year for people that don't know listening around the world, and we'd like to welcome the people listening up in Bangor, Maine, in that area, and Husson fans around the world. The Rutland Recreation Department's a busy time of the year for them because they're preparing for the biggest Halloween parade in the world, right?
Yep, we are.
That's a big part of it. So, Brooke, thank you for taking time out. We appreciate it, and we'll be learning ourselves here as we go along. And another guy that will be learning will be Chris Thayer down below at midfield here at Spartan Stadium.
And thank you, Jack, down here from the field. Everything looks absolutely beautiful here at Spartan Stadium. Of course, this is our first attempt at field hockey, and we've got some help in the booth. Thank the good Lord above for that. And, you know, both these programs, Jack, struggling a little bit. They were both picked 1 and 2, Castleton 1 and Husson 2 in the preseason coaches poll, but they're struggling a little bit with big graduating classes from last year. I know that Tammy Landon is looking to get this team going in the right direction. She got a win last week, and now with Husson in town, which is a big power in the league, she's hoping to get it across this hump and get to the next level. And this is a big measuring stick for Castleton today with Husson in the house. So this should be a pretty good contest. And hey, this is going to be great for you and me to give this a shot for our first time, Jack.
Yeah, we do have a couple of field hockey games scheduled on the video cast here on NSN and also Channel 20. And we've been here for the 2 football games so far, and we're planning on hopefully getting on the road here next week with Castleton football. Today, Castleton at Mount Ida. Let us run by both rosters here for the Husson Eagles of Coach Katie Flaherty, who is in her first year at the helm, as we can run it by for you, and we'll go by in numerical order. Number 2 for Husson, Jillian Moran, a 5'10 junior from Manchester, Maine. Number 3 is Courtney Allen, a 5'6 junior from Gardner, Maine. Number 4 is Kaylin Collier, a 5'4 freshman from Sydney, Maine. Number 5 is Kara Poirier, a 5'5 freshman from Berlin, New Hampshire. Number 8, Chelsea Husson, a 5'7 freshman from Glenburn, Maine. And yes, her name is Husson. Her last name is Husson, playing for Husson University. Number 10 is Emily Woodbury, a 5'10 junior from Burnham, Maine. Number 11 is Katie Dingley, a 5'4 freshman from Lisbon, Maine. Number 12, Helen Berry, a 5'5 junior from Belfast, Maine. Number 17 is Bethany Ames, a 5'9 junior from Turner, Maine. Number 18 is Janika Kelly, a 5'7 senior from Livermore Falls, Maine. Number 20, Kristen Task, a 5'7 freshman from Farmington, Maine. Number 21 is Sky Ellis, a 5'6 junior from Belfast, Maine. And number 22 is Lori Hiltz, who is a 5'5 sophomore from Norwich Walk, Maine. Number 23 is Lindsay Barnes, a 5'10 senior from Owl's Head, Maine. Number 24 is Diane Ramsey, a 5'3 junior from Otisfield, Maine. And at number 23 is Kasia Blindo, 5'6 sophomore from Morgan, Vermont. Number 42 is Caitlin Pelletier, 5'11 junior from Plainfield, New Hampshire. Number 44 is Caroline Bachler, a 5'9 sophomore from Turner, Maine. Number 60, one of the goalkeepers, Heather Durkee, 5'1 freshman from Brunswick, Maine. And getting the starting nod today as the goalkeeper, a 5'7 freshman from Leeds, Maine, Kristen Capen. The head coach, Katie Flaherty, in her first season, assisted by Amanda Pullen in her first season. Athletic trainers Janine Jamitter and Darcy Dickinson. And for Castleton, the Spartans under coach Tammy Landon, now in her sixth season, assisted by Megan Brown in her sixth season, Caitlin Smid in her fifth season, and also Andrea Way in her fourth season. The athletic training students are Logan Griffiths and Lindsay Short, and the certified athletic trainer is Michael Heitkamp. For Castleton, numerically, 00 is Bridget Dusha. She's a goalkeeper, 5'6 sophomore from Greenwich, New York. Number 1 is Stephanie Poprosky, a 5-foot sophomore from Newtown, Connecticut. Number 2 is Kayla Massey, a 5'5 senior from Rutland, Vermont. Number 3 is Keely Chipman, a 5'8 freshman from Bellows Falls, Vermont. Number 4 is Jenna Charbonneau, a 5'1 senior from New Haven, Vermont. Number 5 is Angelica Mazzola, a 5'7 sophomore from Centerport, New York. Number 6 is Megan Konowich, a 5'5 senior from Canastota, New York. Number 7 is Corin Healey, a 5'2 freshman from Jefferson Township, New Jersey. Number 8 is Amanda Kuczynski, a 5'6 sophomore from Milford, New Jersey. Number 9 is Danielle Carrera, a 5'5 freshman from Rutland, Vermont. Number 11 is Heather Brock, a 5'4 senior from Bow, New Hampshire. Number 13 is Marie Emerald, a 5'2 senior from Barry, Vermont. Number 14 is Jessica Scott, a 5'8 senior from Poultney, Vermont. Number 15 is Molly Freyer, a 5'9 senior from Goshen, Vermont. Number 16 is Samantha Funk, a 5'4 junior from Cornwall, Vermont. Number 17 is Elizabeth Sturgis, a 5'5 freshman from Middlesex, Vermont. Number 19 is Caitlin Briggs, a 5'8 freshman from Hudson, New York. Number 25 is Sarah Flory, a 5'5 junior from Springfield, Vermont. Number 39 is Courtney Nolan, a 5'10 junior from Spring Lake Heights, New Jersey. And starting in goal is number 99, Siobhan Whittemore, a 5'5 junior from Springfield, Vermont. As Husson in green down below has been introduced, and Castleton being introduced now in the white with the green numerals. 35-minute halves, running time. I mentioned Brooke Towsley is with us, who played on the NAC championship team. And they do have a coin flip, right, Brooke? And then
Yeah, they do it before the game when the teams are warming up.
Oh, they already do. So
yep.
There's no real advantage, of course. So you didn't have the opportunity to play on this field, did you?
No.
Little disappointed? You missed it by a year? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. I've come back and played, though, few of us that are still in the area, we come and play with them some nights and all that kind of stuff. And we had the alumni game last weekend, which was a lot of fun.
How did the alumni do? Did you play against each other, or did you play against this team?
We played against them.
And how did you do?
We did okay.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Nice job of the national anthem. Castleton players Courtney Nolan, number 39, number 4 Jenna Charbonneau, and number 16 Samantha Funk on the national anthem. Skies are overcast, a relatively mild day here at Spartan Stadium. Nice foliage across the way as we look out. It'll be the first hit. And again, Husson in green and Castleton in white here with our first field hockey game on the Northeast Sports Network, video casting around the world, and of course Channel 20 here in Rutland on Rutland PEGTV. So in your broadcasting debut, Brooke, you're going to be listened to and around the world.
Woohoo.
Of course, 11 players per team. That's 5 forwards, 3 halfbacks, 2 fullbacks, and a goalkeeper. And we mentioned the goalkeeper for Husson, number 99, Kristen Capon, and Siobhan Whittemore for the Castleton Spartans. So the Eagles and also the Spartans here. And the Eagles in green going left to right. Now the goalkeeper can basically wear anything she wants, right? As far as a uniform is concerned.
Yeah, they basically have to be in a completely different color than their team.
Now, for example, Siobhan Whittemore, number 99, has the gold jersey for Castleton, but Kristen Capon for Husson looks like she's all set for that Halloween parade that we were talking about in Rutland later on. She's got a multicolored jersey down there. So the first hit, and it will be controlled by Husson. Of course, the most common penalty, if you will, or the most common stoppage is obstruction, correct, Brooke?
Yeah, or feet.
Or
hit your feet.
Because you cannot have the ball touch your feet. You can't lift it. It's not like ice hockey where you're able to lift it.
It just turned off or turned on?
So Husson controlling right here. Now, a lot of people say when they're watching field hockey, Brooke, there's a lot of whistles and so forth, and they just blew the whistle then, didn't they? That's why the transfer in play, the transfer in possession, right?
Yep.
And here's another one. Of course, the 16-yard circle, which I don't know how well it's coming on your screen, but it's the black circle. Or the goal one is for soccer, but the black circle is the 16-yard circle where you can only score from within the circle. That time the save was made, and here's a shot that goes in wide by number 1, Stephanie Poprosky. So Castleton with a couple of opportunities in close. What you have obstruction, that penalty. You have penalty corners, which is 10 yards from the near post. You have the penalty stroke one-on-one between an offensive player 7 yards in front of the goal, and free hit. Which of those is the most common one, Brooke?
Probably a 16-yard hit if you're down by the circle.
And that is a free hit, correct?
Right. Yep.
Here's Husson now in Castleton territory. Again, within the 16-yard circle is where you can score. There are saves made actually by non-goaltenders, and that is a statistic.
Yep. It's a defensive save.
And what they call a defensive save. And, of course, it's running time, 35-minute halves, and we have 32 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first half scoreless. Husson and Castleton here. Field hockey action on NSN and Channel 20 on the Rutland PEGTV, the Rutland cable system. And shot blocked within the circle is Castleton looking to control. Number 4, Jenna Charbonneau. And number 16 is Samantha Funk. We're both teaming up. 2 out of the 3 who teamed up with the national anthem. Caroline Bachler, number 44 for the Eagles, but Castleton will have possession out near midfield. It is a 100-yard field just like in football, and the field width probably, just a little bit wider than a football field, correct, Brooke?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the only time there is timeout is just an injury timeout, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Or if the coaches call a timeout.
And how many timeouts per half do you get?
I think they get 2.
Get 2. Now this is Castleton again. You got to stick handle and move the ball inside that 16-foot circle. Number 25 is Sarah Flory. Dumps it down low. It's knocked away, but still within the circle. Castleton continues to control and had it for a moment. Now, what did they call there?
It's a corner because it came high off of the goalie.
Okay.
So if it raises off of the goalie, it's an automatic corner because it's dangerous, basically.
And it is Castleton's possession here. Shot blocked. That would be one of the statistics blocked by the defense that we were talking about earlier, not by the goalkeeper. And again, you can score within the 16-yard circle. Out near midfield. Castleton in white. Sarah Flory. Marie Amaral, number 13. If you were talking about ice hockey, would be there on the forecheck or trying to forecheck. But terms that are not used in field hockey like that, right? You don't say forecheck and backcheck in field hockey. Number 2 is Jillian Morin for Husson. Along the near sideline, Jillian Morin on a battle there with Amaral, number 13 for the Spartans. Scoreless with 30 minutes to go in the first half. Amaral is number 13 for Castleton, but Husson controls. Jessica Scott, 14. Number 25 is Sarah Flory. Number 11 now is Heather Brock. Now that was a call right there, correct?
Yep. What is new is they have a self-start on the free hits.
Okay.
It used to be before that you couldn't dribble, like to see how Brock just dribbled.
Yep.
You usually can't do that. It's new this year, though, that you can self-start and just continue to go. It's basically supposed to speed the game up and make it so there's less whistles.
And you being a field hockey player have heard a lot of times people that are outside observers say it's a sport with a lot of whistles, but they are aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, a free hit to try to eliminate a whistle or two.
Yep, and they try to make it faster because the whistles slow down the game, make it more exciting.
And, you know, I use the term dribbling, but or I use the term stick handling, but dribbling would be the more of the apt term in field hockey.
Yep.
As it's knocked away by the goaltender, loose in front. It's Castleton looking to put on some pressure. Number 39 is Courtney Nolan. As the ball loose inside that 16-yard circle area. And a whistle blown there, and it'll be Heather Brock. So you played, of course, with many of these players from last year.
Yeah.
And, of course, played against Husson in the NAC semis a year ago.
Yes, we did.
Where was that game played? Was that here or up in Bangor, Maine?
I think we played here.
Okay.
They're always a very tough team.
Okay, Lindsay.
Now, what are we seeing here with the...
This is a corner.
Right. And again, the players can be across the goal mouth. This ball knocked away. Marie Emerald had an opportunity. Emerald again. And can't control. It'll be Husson. So you have the goalkeeper, and the defensive players can also be in the
Yep.
the net there as well.
Yeah. And then the rest of the team has to go up to the 50.
And knocked away. That Kristen Capon got a piece of it. Like Emerald might have had a stick on it on the way through. Most of the bids so far, the Castleton Spartans. Jillian Morin. Knocked away there is now Jillian Morin again, number 2 for Husson. Morin again popped up into the air, and Castleton will control here. Was Brooke Towsley with us, played for the legendary coach Tammy Landon in her 6th year. Number 22 is Lori Hills. To Morin. And another whistle there, Brooke.
Yep, it's a long hit.
And number 22 taking the long hit will be Hills. "25 minutes to go, first half. Scoreless. The Husson Eagles out of Bangor, Maine, and Castleton here at Spartan Stadium. Overcast skies, and there is a breeze. There, you know, when you talk about the coin toss at the beginning as to who has the first hit, Brooke, it really doesn't make any difference in field hockey which way you go, per se. I mean, the wind would not be a factor by any stretch of the imagination, or would it be?
No, not usually.
Yeah.
The only thing is when you play in grass fields, you try to pick the side of the field depending on the goalie's preference, because sometimes the goal mouths in front are all mud or they're slippery or whatever. But playing on turf, it doesn't matter.
You mentioned you didn't have a chance to play, obviously, on this turf field except for the alumni game, but there are turf fields you've played on during league play, right?
Oh, yeah.
And do you prefer that? Is it better to play on a turf field in field hockey or not?
Depends on the game. It makes it a lot faster, so it's a lot tiring.
Diane Ramsey, number 24 for Husson, still outside that 16-yard circle, and you can only score within the circle, trying to work it in front. Knocked away, and nice play by number 15, Molly Freyer. This is an opportunity here for Castleton. Certainly can interject, Brooke, if there is a whistle there that looks a little confusing to either me or to our viewers out there. 25, Sarah Flory. And number 15 is Molly Freyer for Castleton. Castleton took play early, then Husson for a while. Stephanie Poprosky is number 1. Again, this is the scoring area inside that 16-yard circle, the black circle on your screen. The Husson Eagles, the club that Castleton defeated in the NAC semis a year ago. Castleton, the defending champ in the North Atlantic Conference. Now that's an obstruction there. That would be, if we refer to that in ice hockey, that would be a high stick.
Well,
What
it actually, because it went off of Husson's stick, they
okay.
forced it up into the air.
Okay.
So Courtney knocked it down, but it was originally off of the Husson team, which caused
it had nothing to do with the fact that the stick was high above. As I say, and pardon me for making my second reference to ice hockey. I'll try not to do that.
That's okay.
Here come the Eagles the other way, but now number 15, it is Molly Freer. Chopping it ahead. Up intended for Courtney Nolan. Interesting what you said on to which side you might take on a dirt field or a grass field where the grass might be worn down on one end. Number 22 is Lori Hiltz for Husson. Lori Hiltz. Lori Hiltz again. Number 2 is Jillian Morin. For number 19 for Castleton, Caitlin Briggs. Caitlin Briggs out of Hudson, New York. Number 22 is Hiltz again for Husson. Say most of the scoring opportunities have been for Castleton. Like Marie Amaral might have been shaken up just a bit there. Jalen Briggs, number 19. And you try to, is it best to try to work it right to the middle, or just your initial instinct is to get it inside the circle? And
for scoring?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can only score with inside the circle, but
you want to.
Is the strategy to get some traffic in there or not?
You basically want to look to your wings, who are the two that run on the outside, and it's Courtney and Marie for us.
And here's Marie here, and she scores. Marie Amaral, and that was a pretty play, just as you described, Brooke. The purpose to get it to the wing, and that's exactly what Castleton did there. It's 1-0 Spartans, 21:03 to go here in the first half. And that's Stephanie Poprowski on the assists. And on the goal, Amaral. And that's why Brooke is with us. I just asked the question. She said the purpose is to get it to the wing. So Amaral on the goal to make it 1-0. Jillian Morin is number 2. Number 4, Charbonneau for Castleton. Of course, we'll have statistics here at halftime. And this is Husson and green. And number 22 is Lori Hiltz. Castleton in white with a 1-0 lead. 20 minutes, coming down on 20 minutes to go here in the first half at Spartan Stadium. Our first video cast of college field hockey. Marie Amaral with a goal here in the first half for Castleton, assisted by Stephanie Poprowski. Amaral coming down on the left wing side. That's Amaral there, number 13. Just lost to Amaral, getting it back, number 13. Back and forth, Lori Hiltz, number 22 for Husson, and number 2 is Jillian Morin. Jack Healey on board with Brooke Towsley here in the first half, and Brooke played on the Castleton team that won the NAC championship a year ago, helping us out. Marie Amaral, who scored the goal, number 13 for Castleton, 22, Lori Hiltz. And you can't lift the ball per se, so one of the infractions. Can't hit your feet either. See on the speed, Courtney Nolan trying to chase it down. Who was the fastest player on the team last year, Brooke?
Kayla Blank.
Who's not back this year, right?
No, but she will be the one that's coming up here for the second half.
Oh, okay. All right. So she's the fastest one.
She
We'll
was.
see how fast she gets up here in the press box when she knows that she has to. Now, this is the setup here that I was talking about before. You got the goalie and the goalkeeper, which is the correct way to put it. That's 10 yards from the post, and we were talking about that earlier. Shot to save, and came straight out as Molly Prayer, number 15, possibly had an opportunity on a rebound, couldn't quite get to it. Again, within the 16-yard area is where you can score within that circle. Emily Woodbury, number 10 for Husson. Number 11 is Heather Brock for Castleton. 1-0 Castleton, coming down at 17:30 to go here in the first half. So when you guys were discussing who was going to do the color, you said, what? Did both of you say, I don't want to do the whole game, I'll just do a half?
Well,
or was that what the way we told you it was
no,
going to be?
Tammy told us that we didn't have to talk, so I didn't know that. I was like, oh.
And so you're doing just fine. As a matter of fact, you were great on the goal. I mean, it was perfect. Explaining to us about getting it to the wing exactly at the time it happened. Is on the wing, Amaral scoring on the pass from Poprosky. Here's Jillian Morin. So again, getting it to the wing on the right wing. Once you have it on the wing, though, is it better to shoot from there if you have it, or do you try to? That's what I was trying to say before. Try to feed it in front.
Yeah, basically the wings bring it down the side because they're the fastest people, and once they get down there, they cross it in front of the net, and you have the other two running in, and you have your midfielders, and you basically look for a deflection, which what happened on the first goal. Courtney brought it down and crossed it, or Steph did, and then Marie was running in and tipped it. So you'll see him always like try to cross it in front.
So you looked at it more as a tip. I looked at it as more as having control of that and making no mistake, getting it on the left wing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amaral is number 13. Who's got the Castleton gold? Is Castleton controls, Castleton in white. This is Amaral here. Number 39 is Courtney Nolan. But number 44 for Husson is Caroline Bachler. Husson out of Bangor, Maine. Quite a trip from Bangor to here for sure. That takes a while. I don't think they came up this morning. I wouldn't think.
I don't know.
Maybe. Did you guys travel on the same day, even to Husson?
It's usually a weekend trip.
It is a weekend trip, yeah.
You play Husson and sometimes UMaine or St. Joe's.
Heather Brock is number 11. Like by Stephanie Poprosky. Now here's Amaral right in front again. Amaral's number 13. She was more on the wing, though, before on the goal. Right there, she was playing in the middle. Now she's back on the left wing, per se. One nothing Castleton, 14:30 to go in the half. And the goal scored by Marie Amaral. Not sure if Husson actually has a shot on goal or not in this particular game. And
I don't think they do.
there's certainly not one going all the way through. We got one. Jeremy Jackson is also with us. I forgot to mention Jeremy in our. We have a cast of thousands in our opening introduction to you. Opening introduction for college field hockey here on NSN and at Channel 20. Prayer Molly Freer 15 for Castleton, had it before. Castleton really a dominating play here and has had most of the opportunities plus the goal to lead at 1-0. Brooke Towsley with us in the first half. Her coach, Tammy Landon, said it's all right, you don't have to talk. And so, as a result, Brooke will never talk to Tammy Landon again.
Oh, I'll forgive her. She probably just left that little detail out.
Stephanie Poprosky, number 1. She's got the assist on that goal. Number 10 is Emily Woodbury for Husson, the Husson Eagles. Looks like Courtney Allen there, number 3. And Siobhan Whittemore watches it go by, number 99. And the Spartans control. And Charbonneau was one of the singers of the national anthem, number 4, but Husson controlling. Number 22 is Lori Hills. Has it on the right wing. Trying to feed it in toward the middle. Bounced around. Right. Nice play defensively there. And back inside the circle. Deflected. The opportunity right in front, just a few yards away. Kicked away by Whittemore. What is the strategy there that we just saw, Brooke? Once you get at the top of your own circle there.
To basically try to look outside to the wings and get it up the field. You can see holes between all the players. You try to hit it through and get to your player and get to the space.
Number 1, Stephanie Poprosky. As Castleton controlling now with Heather Brock. Heather Brock is a 5'4" senior. She's from Bow, New Hampshire. Most of you could tell in our opening introductions of both teams, there are certainly Vermonters on the Castleton team, but Husson mostly players from Maine, most of the roster from Maine for the Husson Eagles. Where are you from, Brooke?
I'm from Bennington, Vermont.
You're from Bennington.
Yep.
So you played for Mount Anthony.
I did.
And Castle has been in the situation there. This shot knocked down. Number 25, Flory. And this is what you call the penalty corner.
Yep.
Again, 10 yards from the near post. That's where you hit the ball in from. Out toward the top of the circle. And the shot deflected. Now, if that went in, now that was number 15. That was Molly Freer. I guess technically just inside the circle. Of course, it could be deflected anyway. You can shoot from outside the circle as long as somebody gets a stick on it on the way through.
Yep.
Castleton has the 1-0 lead. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. And that hit, did that hit a foot? Is that what it was, or a leg?
Yep.
Yeah.
A corner happens when a defensive player inside the circle fouls, basically. So if it hits their feet, if they obstruct, if they have a high stick, if it comes up off the goalie.
Okay, a high stick coming back off the goalie. And most of the, that was the shot knocked away. Number 25, Sarah Flory, looking to get it back. Number 1 is Stephanie Poprosky. Trying to get control, and it'll be Husson with possession here. No, it's going to be, again, it's going to be the penalty corner. Sarah Flory's had a couple of opportunities. Kristen Keep and a couple of saves for Husson. Of course, most of the stoppages, most of the whistles are because of obstruction.
Yep.
What they call obstruction. So, shot knocked down outside of the circle. Again, number 25, Sarah Flory. Castleton continues to control. Brock with it. Back out toward Brock, number 11. Floria's number 25. And again, obstruction in the penalty corner. And this time it'll be Marie Amaral. The description of the penalty corner is you hit it in from 10 yards from the nearest post, and that's what she did there. And they try to get the person down low. Right there, Stephanie Poprosky was waiting at the far post. Now that would have been a perfect play. She tried to deflect that in. Stephanie Poprosky, who is from Newtown, Connecticut. Sky Ellis, number 21 for Husson. Jillian Morin's number 2. Morin dribbling along the near sideline. Try to feed it toward the middle. And again, obstruction, and Castleton with it. Number 6 is Megan Konowich. He's from Canastota, New York. Number 19, Caitlin Briggs from Hudson, New York. Amaral, number 13, who scored the goal, is from Barrie, Vermont. I assume that playing at Mount Anthony, that you played against maybe Amaral at Spalding. I don't know if you ever crossed paths with her in high school. You must have played against some of the players that were your teammates here in college, right?
I did, actually.
Yeah.
One of my best friends was on a team that was my rival. So,
Brattleboro?
One of them, Brattleboro, and then her name's Trish Fellow. She's from Hartford.
From Hartford, okay.
Yeah.
So you look at them in high school as mortal enemies, and then they become your best friends in college. Huh?
Yep.
Who's the field hockey coach down at Mount Anthony, or who did you play for?
Laura Perro.
Okay.
Yep. She's been there for a really long time. She coaches my sister now.
How are they doing this year?
They're doing okay.
Good.
Yep, they're doing all right.
Jessica Scott, number 14 for Castleton, but number 3, Courtney Allen for Husson. Trying to feed it toward Morin. Now, if a game is tied going into at the end of regulation, it is 7-on-7. It's 11 players. Regulation. There's a shot that hit the post. Right in close. Almost scoring was, I believe that was Kara Poirier who hit the post. And Husson came ever so close to tying up this field hockey game. You know what they say, though, if it hits the post, I don't know how many posts you might have hit in your career, and it's a frustrating thing, but if it hits the post, it's wide. It's the same thing as going wide.
But as a defensive player and for goalies, it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, they say the best friend of a goalie is the post, but it is. It seems so close when it hits the post, but it is another word for going wide. Mm-hmm. Coming down on 5 minutes to go, first half. Castleton has a 1-0 lead over Husson here at Spartan Stadium. And just a moment ago, Husson had a golden opportunity, did hit the post, and Castleton, for the most part, has taken play. Scott, number 14, and number 25, Sarah Flory. Dribbling toward the circle. Scott trying to feed it in front. Going to get a stick on it in close was Keely Chipman. Chris Thayer will be talking to Castleton Athletic Director Deanna Tyson during our halftime activities here. Jillian Morin on the right wing for Husson. Toward the corner. Castleton will be controlling now. Tried to come up on the left wing to Jessica Scott, intercepted. And again, Morin's all over the place for Husson. Also it is Emily Woodbury, number 10, for the Eagles, dressed in green here. Nice job of dribbling. Helen Berry had it out at the top of the 16-yard circle, but now Castleton controlling. Ahead now on the right wing, Courtney Nolan has Chipman with her, and Chipman got held up just a bit there. And is that what they called there, or was that something before? It looked like Chipman was held up a little bit by the stick.
No, I think it was something before.
Yeah, it was something before.
Something with Courtney and the other defender.
As a shot goes in wide, actually a pass, if you will, from outside that 16-yard circle. You have the penalty corner. We've been talking about 10 yards from the near post. Penalty stroke one-on-one between the offensive player, 7 yards in front. And you also have what you call a free hit. The only one we've seen so far is the penalty corner, correct?
Yeah, penalty strokes don't happen very often.
And sometimes are games decided, I would assume, by penalty strokes in the playoffs and so forth, right? Even though I was about ready to say if it was tied going into the end of the regulation, you do have what they have 2 sudden death overtime periods. And
then you go into strokes.
Unless, but in a regular season game you don't, right?
No, I think you do, because we beat RPI last year in strokes.
Okay. So then there aren't any ties then?
No.
Minute 50 to go in the first half, and Castleton has a 1-0 lead over Husson here in college field hockey. As Castleton, for the most part, has taken play. Number 14 on the left wing is Scott. Got inside, trying to feed it in front. Like a pretty good setup there. Scott might have had an opportunity to shoot that as it came out to Konowich, number 6, out at midfield. On the left wing, Porosky. Jessica Scott, who tried to feed that ahead before to Chipman, has it now. Went by Flory, and number 11 is Heather Brock. The number 5 is Kara Poirier, and I believe it was Poirier that hit the post, if I'm not mistaken, earlier, a few minutes ago for Husson. An opportunity to tie it. Coming down on a minute to go in the first half, 1-0 Castleton. The goal scored by Marie Amaral from Stephanie Poprosky. Number 12 is Helen Berry. And number 11 for Castleton, again, Heather Brock. 40 seconds to go in the half. Trying to get it in through that 16-yard area. Stephanie Poprosky couldn't quite control. Comes out now to Jillian Morin along the near side. 27 seconds to go in the half. Jillian Morin dribbling, still with it. Knocked away, number 15, Molly Freer. Morin gets it back, 15 seconds to go in the half. Just a few seconds to go here. Coming down on 4 seconds to go. Came back outside the 16-yard circle, and they counted down, the public address announcer, and it is 1-0 Castleton here at halftime. And as the end of the half, and it was Marie Amaral scoring with 21:03 to go in the half, assisted by number 1, Stephanie Poprosky. That is the only scoring of the field hockey game to this point. And Brooke Towsley has been on board with us. Brooke, your time is over. We hope to do it again sometime. Was it that bad?
No, it was not.
That's good. We're going to have Deanna Tyson, the athletic director from Castleton, and also Chris Thayer will be talking to us here at halftime. We'll be right back after this word from Castleton State College.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports.
Theater and music.
Radio and TV.
Internships and community service. There's a real sense of community.
And the improvements on campus mean more opportunities.
And Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
And welcome back, everybody, here at Spartan Stadium. And a 1-0 halftime lead by Castleton over Husson in a very pivotal contest for both these clubs this afternoon here from Castleton, Vermont. And have a special guest with us here, Deanna Tyson, the athletic director of Castleton State College, and thank you for coming on board with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, lots to talk about. Of course, we'll start right off with what's in front of us here, this beautiful complex. And, of course, there's still a lot of work going on here, Deanna, with the baseball diamonds and the softball diamonds. And I'm sure that I can see on the other side there's probably a practice field over there. But a lot of exciting things here at Castleton College.
It is. It's very positive, and we're all excited about it.
And then, of course, the acquisition of the field house as well over in Rutland. Now it's Spartan Arena. Really exciting things going on there as well.
Yes, yep. We're excited about it, and we're looking forward to hosting our men's and women's ice hockey season that's coming up fairly quickly.
Of course, and it's larger than that because, in all reality, it's the hockey mecca of Rutland. And you got both Rutland and MSJ play their ice hockey there. Raha uses it. Many skating clubs and as such. So, really Castleton stepped up to do a really great community thing and bring it all together again.
Well, thanks. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're having all the programs that were there last year are continuing to with their programs there this year as well. So
good. Well, it's such a great thing that things are going on here. President David Walk, known him forever since I was a little kid, and he's always been a moving and shaking kind of guy. Even as my camp counselor in the early 70s, he was one of those guys that you always wanted to be around because positive things were always happening. And you bring yourself in here. It's a big effort between everybody to make this thing come together.
yeah, no, he's kept me very busy over the past couple of years, which is a great thing for athletics.
Now, you used to be a field hockey coach, as I recall.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I coached Division I field hockey for 10 years before I came up to Castleton.
I'm sorry.
I was down in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yep.
Wow, that's quite the thing. How did you land up here in Castleton land?
Well, I had coached for 10 years, Division I, and really kind of got burnt out with the coaching. We were in a conference that played against Stanford and Cal Berkeley, so it was a coast-to-coast conference.
Wow.
Wanted to start a family, and it was just too much. I was working on my doctorate degree in administration, so I started looking for an administrative job, and Castleton came on my radar. I had actually applied to Castleton as a senior in high school. I didn't come here because I needed to play Division I field hockey, being on the national team. But when I saw Castleton come up, I applied and came up and interviewed. Had known the area from skiing at Killington as a kid, so came up here, and I just love it. It's a great place to work with President Walk and to raise my family in Castleton as well.
You're absolutely right on the money. As far as raising a family, you can't find a better location on the planet than Central Vermont, as far as I'm concerned. I've been here my whole life, and I don't ever see myself leaving. So, hey, we're glad you're here, and you're such a pivotal part of all this stuff that's going on around us. And even Glenbrook has been redesigned and reconfigured, and the list goes on. The amount of improvements that have gone on here at Castleton, it's so impressive. When people come in here, they're like, "This is not the place I went to school. This is no longer what it used to be," and that's a good feeling. It's got to be.
It is, and just to get compliments from opposing teams that come here. The other night, we hosted field hockey against Union College, and to have their parents come up and say what a wonderful venue this was such a compliment. We had the Middlebury field hockey staff down here scouting them out, and they were amazed at our facility here at Castleton. So it's really changed for the better for us.
And that's quite a compliment coming from Middlebury.
It is.
With the facility they already have in place.
It is.
And Norwich as well. And you look across the beautiful scenery with the foliage right now this time of year. You can't buy that stuff.
Right. To think when I was hired 10 years ago, if you were to ask me if we were to have field hockey as a program and to be playing on a turf field, I would have never imagined that 10 years ago.
Well, guys like Tom Healey, Tom's been a writer in the region for years, and he always had this vision of football. And I think when you talk football, you've got to talk field hockey, you've got to talk soccer, you talk everything, and he knows that. And it's the glue that brings it all together, and it took people like yourself and President Walk to make that happen. So, I know we give a lot of accolades, but it's well-deserved, believe me, because putting this area on the map is a big thing for us, and we've been waiting for this for a long time, and we're so happy it's finally here.
Yeah, no, as us as well. My whole staff, my whole athletic staff is just thrilled to be out here using this facility. The men's and women's soccer coach, as well as the field hockey and football coaches, and lacrosse for the spring are going to be so excited to be out here, not having to worry about whether their field is going to be playable or not because of the puddles on it. So it's a very positive thing for us.
No more trips to New York to play lacrosse.
Right, right.
Which is a very good thing. Well, listen, I mean, the sky's the limit in the future here. The whole complexion of this school has changed for the better, and we're just so excited to be part of it here at NSN and Vermont Sports Now. And thanks for all you do.
Oh, and thank you. The NSN has been a positive, very positive thing for our student athletes with their parents, that they're able to not have to travel here and able to watch their sons and daughters compete at the collegiate level. It's just they're so thankful that we've got this going for them to view.
Yeah, isn't that a great thing? I mean, I went down to just pregame and talked to the Husson staff and said, hey, get your cell phones out. Here's the card. Get your parents and friends on this thing. And they're all calling home to get them on. So welcome to the Husson crowd as well. So thank you very much for being my guest at halftime. We look forward to doing this again.
No, thank
okay,
you.
You're very welcome. And we'll take a commercial break here for Castleton College. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Why did I choose Castleton?
Castleton is big enough, so there's a lot to do. It's small enough so I can really get involved.
Sports,
Theater and music,
radio and TV,
internships, and community service. There's a real sense of community,
and the improvements on campus mean more opportunities.
and Castleton is in Vermont.
That means hiking, biking, skiing, and riding.
Visit castleton.edu to learn more about Castleton.
And we're back at Spartan Stadium as we get set for the second half. The Spartans of Castleton have a 1-0 lead over the Husson Eagles, and our thanks to Brooke Towsley, who was on board with us for the first half. I'd like to welcome in Kayla Blank, who will be on board with us in the second half. Kayla, also a member of last year's Castleton NAC championship team. So, Kayla, thank you for being on board here.
You're welcome.
And, of course, you did see the first half. We do have some statistics. Kristen Capon, 5 saves for Husson. And Siobhan Whittemore had 1 save. There was also it hit the post. There was one that hit the post for Husson in that first half. And the goal scorer was Marie Amaral, her 3rd of the year from Stephanie Poprosky. A real pretty goal, wasn't it?
It was a very nice one.
And for Amaral, again, her 3rd goal of the year, 13:55 of the first half. And here in the second half, Castleton is going left to right and going right to left, Husson. And I believe we do have a new goalkeeper for Castle, and that's Bridget Dushek, correct? I believe off to our left, and she's number 00, and it looks like Kristen Capon is still the goaltender for Husson, or the goalkeeper, if you will. So where are you from, Kayla?
I am from Whitesboro, New York, which is located right in the center of New York.
Okay. And again, a teammate of Brooke, who's from Bennington, who, of course, you played on that championship team last year. And Husson was a team that you beat in the semifinals. And, of course, many of the players on both teams you're obviously familiar with.
Yes.
So, again, Heather, Kristen Capon is the goaltender, the goalkeeper for Husson. And Bridget Dusha is now the goalkeeper for Castleton. As in the second half, Castleton going left to right and Husson going right to left. And there is another save by the goalkeeper, Kristen Capon. That was a shot down low. It was Keely Chipman had an opportunity. As we mentioned in the first half, of course, a lot of obstruction calls, and we're trying to explain penalty corners and penalty strokes, which don't happen too often, as I understand, during the course of a regular game, right?
No, not during a regular game. Usually the only time is when the goalie steps on the ball and the offender can't get it in the cage, and there's no motion of the ball.
And also free hit is something else you have. Free hit, penalty stroke, penalty corner. And most of the stoppages are what they call obstruction. Trying to get a stick on it front was Courtney Nolan. And this, okay.
It's going to be a corner because the defender deflected it, like intentionally put it out of bounds of the circle.
32 minutes to go in regulation, 1-0 Castleton. And this is the penalty corner. See the players trying to get in that 16-yard area. Shot deflected wide. That was a rifle shot by Molly Freer. Can tell Kayla is still a fan because she was just about ready to jump out of her seat there. She anticipated that going in. And what do you do now, Kayla?
I am still at Castleton.
Oh, you are
Actually,
still at Castleton.
I am. I have no more years of
Oh,
eligibility
okay,
left,
so you
however.
have used up your eligibility, so you're still a student here.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you like the area, obviously.
I do.
And I asked
Nice.
Brooke the same question here. I know you probably, I don't know if you played in the alumni game or not, but you didn't get an opportunity to play at this wonderful new facility here.
No.
At Spartan Stadium. And I know that you probably played on the turf field during your career. Do you prefer the turf or the grass?
It can go either way. I like the grass. The grass has a little bit more of a guessing game. A little bit less unstable, so.
Because we asked Brooke about which direction you might want to go to. It doesn't really matter on an artificial turf, at least at the beginning of the game. I mean, it's not a wind is not the factor, but she said sometimes at a grass field it might be more worn down on one end than the other. It's sort of the goalkeeper's decision.
Yes.
Son trying to break through. Got foliage across the way here at Spartan Stadium. Number 11, Heather Brock. As the Spartans look to control Sarah Flory with it, dribbling. Castleton, for the most part, as we mentioned, actually there were 5 saves for Cape and 1 for Whittemore in that first half. So that gives you an indication as to how much Castleton dominated. Of course, Castleton does have the lead as well with 30 minutes to go in regulation. 1-0 Castleton. Castleton looking to put some more pressure on. Number 3, Chipman went by it, and now Husson coming back the other way. Husson Eagles out of Bangor, Maine. Going to go coast to coast here. And this is Chelsea Husson is number 8. That knocked away by Dusha. I don't know if people noticed or not. I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the game when we were running by the players, but there is a Chelsea Husson on this Husson team. Number 8, I'm not sure if I thought it was number 8, but her number is number 8, but number 2 is Jillian Morin. I thought I saw an 8 out there earlier. I could be mistaken. And this, again, is the penalty corner. I think this is the first one Husson's had all day.
It is. The ball has to come outside the circle before it can be
before
shot.
you can, it has to come out before you can send it back
Yes.
in. Okay, that's what happened there. Just tapped it ahead. Number 5, Poirier. I had mentioned that I thought number 8 was out there for Husson. I guess I couldn't wait for Husson to be playing for Husson, but I'm trying to look now, and I don't see her out there. So. Courtney Allen tried to poke it away. Courtney Allen again, number 3, tried to poke it away. Number 12 is Helen Berry for Husson. On the left wing, it is Courtney Allen, number 3. And the obstruction there, bringing it back the other way. Now, what exactly happened there? Did it hit the...
It hit her foot.
Hit her foot. Okay, that's the most common one, right? When it hits the foot. Healey Chipman is number 3 for Castleton, dressed in white. Husson in green. Try to center it, knocked away on the side of the net. Castleton looking to put some pressure on. Flory was there, but it'll be Husson with it.
Kayla Massey is also in now for.
All right, Kayla Massey is number 2 for Castleton. Yep, Kayla Massey, who's out of Rutland. In attendance, a dog or two here at Spartan Stadium. So obviously a Castleton fan, I would think.
If I'm correct, that it should be Sam Funk's dog down there.
Oh, okay.
There's 2 of them that come to every game.
All right, so there are at least 2. Thus the barking. I guess one was greeting the other one. Heather Brock, number 11, deflected on the way through, and they score. And I believe it was Keeley Chipman who deflected it on by number 3. And did it go in or not? Yes. Yes. It is. It is. Heather Brock got an assist, and I'm not sure if did they give another assist there? Chipman getting the goal, and it's 2-0 Castleton. I thought it did go in. Being an ice hockey guy up until today, Kayla, I was looking for the red light. Doesn't go on in field hockey, does it? 2-0. Castleton with the lead here. 27 minutes to go in regulation. And Keeley Chipman scoring there for Castleton. That was a pretty goal. Again, who did they give that assist to?
Heather Brock.
Yeah, Heather Brock, that's right.
Nice stop, Megan.
Was Husson looking to cut that lead in half, looking to put on some pressure right in front, knocked away, and again knocked away. It might have been Dusha getting a piece of it initially, and Husson really putting some pressure on. And number 22 is Hiltz. Number 10 is Woodbury. And Husson probably its best pressure. Actually, Bridget Dusha has been busier, certainly here in the early going in the second half, than Siobhan Whittemore was the entire first half. So Husson now down 2-0, putting on some pressure, finding that offensive surge that it didn't have in that first half. Husson looking to control, and there's the shot down low, and they score. Number 3, Courtney Allen for Husson. And Husson, after it was down 2-0, looked like it just picked it up a notch offensively. And it looked like number 3 scoring, getting it down low, 2-1 Castleton. Kasia Blindow got the assist, number 33. And I did catch that it was Courtney Allen's 5th of the year. Did we catch how many Keeley Chipman has? Did we? We'll see if we can. I know when Amaral scored, it was her 3rd of the year. So Husson down 2-0. It had really been unable to do anything offensively and had a couple of opportunities. And again, it was the goal there by Courtney Allen to cut the Castle lead to 2-1. And a lot of time left here. 25:09 to go into the field hockey game in regulation. Is there such a thing? I know it's too early now, Kayla, for it, but let's say the prevent defense, so to speak, where you just worry about hitting the ball out toward midfield and don't try to put anything offensive together, or not. I mean, it's, let's say in the last couple of minutes, like a prevent defense that a football team would do, for example.
It's a good idea to keep the ball out of the circle.
Yeah, that's right. And that's all you have to do.
You can only score in the circle.
You can only score in the circle, so just keep it out, which, of course, is the object of the game the whole time anyway,
yes.
right?
You can also slow down the game, let time go by a little bit.
Emily Woodbury. Helen Berry with it, number 12. Husson trailing at one time 2-0, now trailing 2-1. All shoveled into the circle, and backboard Molly Freer. Husson controlling again, getting it back into that circle and putting on some pressure. But Castleton will control. Number 4 is Jenna Charbonneau. Now Husson will control. Number 22 is Lori Hiltz. Back inside that 16-yard circle, where is the only place you can score from. Looking to get a piece of it was Poirier, number 5. Now Amaral with it. had that first goal but can't clear it out of there. And they tried to find, again, Courtney Allen at the far post, and Courtney Allen couldn't get a stick on it on the way by.
No.
Courtney Allen, who scored that goal for Husson. It certainly looks like Husson's picked it up a notch offensively here for sure. And number 23 is Lindsey Barnes. Number 5, Poirier. Number 12 with it, Helen Berry. Now on the right wing is Jillian Morin. Jillian Morin controlling far side for Husson. And it's going to be Castleton with it now. And Jenny Charbonneau. Kayla Massey, number 2. Courtney Nolan is number 39. Courtney Nolan on the right wing. Ahead's got Chipman, who's got the second goal for Castleton. Look like they might have something going there, trying to beat it down the middle inside the 16-yard circle. Heather Brock, who picked up an assist with it. Castleton unable to get it inside. Nice move there, though, by Molly Freyer.
Sam Funk.
Oh, I beg your pardon. It is number 16, Samantha Funk. Yep. And that was her dog. At least one of.
That was her dog.
That's why he spotted her in there, number 16. Molly Freer, we might add, is 15. Molly Freer has it now. Close deflected as Keely Chipman tried to control it right in front. Castleton with a 2-1 lead, coming down on 20 minutes and 38 seconds to go in regulation here at Spartan Stadium on the Northeast Sports Network and Live Channel 20, PEGTV, and Rutland on the Rutland Cable. Mike Valentine along with us. Our producer is Adam Larches. With us, Kayla Blank, who played on the NAC championship team for Castleton a year ago. Husson at one time trailed 2-0, has cut the lead to 2-1, and up on the right wing side, Jillian Morin. Morin still trying to get to it. Shot right in front, and then it rebounded right out in front. It just went wide. As Husson had an opportunity again in close. It was number 21, Sky Ellis, who had an opportunity. Bridget Dusha, we mentioned, has been pretty busy here in the second half. And Siobhan Whittemore, who had really wasn't that busy, had one save in the first half, the Castleton goalkeeper. And Husson with it, number 12 is Helen Berry. Near the circle, Helen Berry getting it back. The Husson Eagles. Try to get, on that play, trying to get the deflection. That was Kasia Blindow down low.
Timeout, Castleton.
So you can, what do you get, one timeout per game, is it? Or I don't want to ask your question. That's okay.
I think it might be 2.
You got 2. That's the first timeout. 19:07 to go here in regulation. And Castleton has a 2-1 lead over Husson. The Castleton goals are coming from Marie Amaral in the first half. Keely Chipman here in the second half. And the goal for Husson, Courtney Allen here in the second half after Castleton went out in front by a score of 2-0. And now it's 2-1 Castleton. As again, it was Allen who cut the lead to 2-1. With us, Kayla Blank. So how did your high school field hockey team do before you came to Castleton?
I I transferred in from Elmira College.
Oh, you did?
So, yes, I
Okay.
transferred in my junior year.
And that's why you've used up your eligibility.
That's why
yeah?
I've used
Okay.
up my eligibility. My high school team, we did very well, actually. So,
Oh, good. Of course, a little bit of a different setup here in the state of Vermont than it is in New York because it's obviously fewer schools and
less
certainly
kids in each
less,
school.
not as many people live here as the central part of New York, as you mentioned. I love the goalkeeper, Kristen Cape, and I talked to before the game when Brooke was on with us. I said, "Can you wear anything you want?" Basically, and it looks like Kristen Capen is all set for Halloween. She said, "This. What's the only thing you have to do as long as
You can see a number.
as long as you can see a number? I don't even see if you can see a number for Kristen Capen."
It's there. Looks like 99.
It is
Maybe.
90. Oh, yeah, I guess you. Well, I know it's 99 because it is, but it's like she's got the rainbow shirt on there. 00, Bridget Dusha, who is the goalkeeper for Castleton now. But Siobhan Whittemore had a gold jersey. Back to pick it up, number 24, Diane Ramsey. After that timeout. Now, what was probably said in that timeout? I know you're not there, you're not privy to the information, but what basically would be said in a timeout, for example, to this part of the game, with Tammy Landon?
I would think she would tell him to pick it up a little bit. They picked it up. You're keeping the same intensity, and just she might have even called it to slow down their performance and their.
Because Tammy Landon senses that Husson really has picked it up a step, especially putting on some pressure and then getting the goal.
Oh yes.
This again a penalty corner for Castleton. 2-1 Castleton with coming down on 18 minutes to go here in regulation. And that's Molly Freer.
Assisted by Courtney Nolan.
So it's 3-1. Molly Freer. That's her first goal of the year. I hear the announcement. I beg your pardon. It's the fourth goal of the year. I heard the announcement, but apparently not correctly. It's the fourth goal of the year. Molly Freer. Nice shot there. Huh? I'll tell you, nice shot. Kayla, it's a terrific goal. 3-1 Castleton. Again, who did the assist go to you?
Courtney Nolan, number 39.
Yeah, Courtney Nolan, number 39, who got the assists, and Molly Freer picking up the goal. So whatever Tammy Landon said,
it worked.
It certainly did work, picking up the intensity and getting that 2-goal lead back again. Castleton with a 3-1 lead. 17:20 to go here in regulation. Well, the Castleton goals coming from Keely Chipman, Molly Freer, and also Marie Amaral. Courtney Allen scoring for Husson. So Husson, all that work to cut the lead in half, now trailing by 2 goals again. We'll see how they could pick it up. Sky Ellis with it inside the circle.
The official held the whistle on that one.
And this will be a penalty corner for Husson. Goal, Bridget Dusha for Castleton, the goalkeeper. He comes out of the circle, got to knock it back in. John knocked down Poirier. Poirier again, and they blew the whistle before that shot anyway. Lindsey Barnes back the other way for Husson, number 23, along the near sideline. Barnes getting it back and forth. Here along the near sideline, Heather Brock. Getting it back, though, is number 23, Lindsey Barnes. Feed it right to number 12, Barry. Tried to feed it to Courtney Allen, who scored that goal out about 25 yards. Poirier. Husson with it. Number 3 is Courtney Allen. The Husson Eagles, who trail the Castleton Spartans 3-1 with 15:30 to go in regulation. Sky Ellis dribbling inside the 16-yard circle. Back out. Ellen Berry dribbles inside, lets it fly, blocked in front, and nice job. It hit the leg of a Castleton player, so again it'll be the penalty corner for Husson. You got to get it back inside the circle. Shot taken and deflected away. I'm going to ask Kayla if that was somebody that was picking it up on the video cast out in Alaska someplace.
No, I don't know anyone in Alaska.
This is being shown around the world, you know. Don't want to make you nervous, but folks in your hometown can. The next time you're on board with us, you can tell them ahead of time if you weren't able to do it this time. Did you get a chance to tell anybody you might be on the video?
I didn't. I just found out that I was going to be on the air when I got here. They were like, second half, be ready. I was like, okay.
All right. This will be archived on nsnsports.net, by the way. And, of course, showed again, Channel 20, PEGTV in the Rutland area, being shown live on Channel 20. PEGTV in Rutland, Castleton Field Hockey, and part of our fall coverage here. And Castleton has a 3-1 lead with 13:40 to go here in regulation at Spartan Stadium. Well, this is Caleb Blank, who was been with us in the second half. It was Brooke Towsley in the first half. Number 44 is Caroline Bockler. On a battle there, number 11, Heather Brock for Castleton.
Get it around, Brock.
Brock tried to feed it ahead to Bobrovsky. They both have assists in this game. That's what, looking to find that intensity it had at the beginning of the second half. Castleton picked it up again, of course, and ended up scoring the goal by Molly Freyer after really Husson had taken play. Bobrovsky trying to dribble inside that circle, and does. And here's, again, obstruction. And again, it will be a penalty corner. Again, you hit it in from 10 yards away from the nearest post. That's what's happening here. Now you send it outside the circle, but you got to bring it back inside the circle. It bounces right in front, and again, obstruction. And again, the penalty corner.
Coach is directing their plays down there. It's not just a free-for-all during corners.
Yeah.
It's organized.
Coach Tammy Landon. Sarah Flory. Stephanie Poprosky, number 1, down low. Number 3 is Courtney Allen for Husson. Allen drives it ahead. Near side, Sky Ellis out at midfield. This is Blindow. On the battle there, looking to poke it away. It was Brock, and Brock does. Number 11 for Castleton. Number 22 is Lori Hiltz, but it'll be Castleton with it. Brock, number 11 again. Houses up near midfield is Stephanie Poprosky with it. Dribbles on Diane Ramsey. Gets it in that circle area. And the end obstruction. And again, it will be the penalty corner. 3-1 with 10:45 to go here in regulation in Spartan Stadium. And outside the circle, and a drive and a save. Drive came out front from Sarah Flory. Jessica Scott is number 14. Kristen Capon has been somewhat busy. What is the most saves you've seen from off the top of your head from a field hockey goalie?
Our goalie last year, Trisha Clarkey, had 32 saves in one game.
Wow, 32 saves.
She was very busy.
And here, for example, it seems like Capon's been busy, but that's probably about 10 saves or something like that, right? Give or take, and we get another timeout here. Wow, 32 saves. That's a lot.
Saves.
Now, when you first came here, you mentioned you transferred in. We do have a timeout, 9:54 to go in regulation. It's 3-1 Castleton. Jack Healey with Kayla Blank. And Kayla, you mentioned you transferred in. You are still a student here at Castleton, and you have already used up your eligibility. I assume you certainly transferred for other reasons other than field hockey. But, on the other hand, we're probably pleased that they had field hockey here, number one. And
absolutely. I only looked at schools with field hockey.
Okay.
So.
And how much did you know about Castleton even before you transferred? How did you arrive at Castleton making that decision?
Not very much. I didn't know much about the program. I knew that they were an up-and-coming program, and I wanted to be a part of it. So that was one of my reasons I transferred. Other reasons were academic, of course.
Yeah.
So. Did
you, in your wildest dreams, think that they were going to put again, unfortunately for you, you didn't have the opportunity to play here, but would have a facility like this at Spartan Stadium?
No, it's gorgeous. I didn't even when I knew it was going in, I didn't know that it was going to be this nice.
Did you get an opportunity were you at the first field hockey game here? Or?
I was at the first field hockey game.
Did you happen to go to the first football game? Did you get an opportunity?
I didn't. I haven't been to a football game yet, actually.
We might add that Mount Ida was leading Castleton 19-0 in the second quarter. It did have that score a while ago. Again, Kayla Blank is with us on the color commentary here in the second half of Castleton field hockey. Great to be on board here as the skies have cleared somewhat. We had overcast skies at the beginning and a relatively mild day as Castleton has the 3-1 lead and looking to put on pressure. Flory and deflected in. A goal for Castleton. And it's 4-1. Was it Flory indeed who got it, or was that deflected in front?
I think it was Healey who scored that.
Okay,
maybe it was Sarah. I'm not sure.
Might have been Keely Chipman who deflected it in front. We'll wait for the announcement here. If it was Chipman, it was her second goal. If not, Flory, who would at least get an assist.
It was Sarah.
It was Flory. And I want to make sure I heard that right. Was it her fifth of the season? First of the season. So before, I'm not hearing right. Before I thought it was first and it was the fourth. This time I thought it was the fifth. It's the first. I'll just have to wait for Jeremy Jackson to tell us. But that does give Castleton a 3-goal lead. And Husson trying to come right back. But Castleton leading at 4-1. Sarah Flory, her first goal for Castleton. 4 different players have scored for the Spartans, who lead at 4-1. But I would assume, too, Kayla, that there's no such thing as an insurmountable lead in field hockey, just like any other sport, right?
There isn't. But
even though it seems to be at times, you would think...
it's comfortable, but can't ever underestimate.
Keely Chipman scoring. Marie Amaral scoring. Sarah Flory scoring. And Molly Freer scoring for Castleton. And Courtney Allen scoring for Husson in this one. 4-1 Castleton. Sarah Flory, her first goal of the year. Again, Castleton at 2-0 in league play, 2-6 overall. The Eagles coming in at 1-1 in the league and 1-3 overall. Castleton, of course, the defending NAC champion. Must be a great feeling to play on a team that wins the championship. You celebrate right on the field.
It was. We had home. They were our only loss in the conference, too. We beat them in the championship. St. Joe's last year.
St. Joe's. St. Joe's of Maine.
St. Joe's of Maine.
Yeah, and Husson, of course, out of Bangor, Maine. Husson, a team that you defeated in the next semis. Husson trying to come back from a 3-goal deficit here. They have it within the circle. Gloria just scored. Knocks it out of the circle as Stephanie Poprosky, number 1, but it will be Husson with it, number 12, Helen Berry. 4-1 Castleton, 7:30 left in regulation. We'll be wrapping it up quickly after the game here. We'll try to go quickly down below with Chris Thayer and wrap it up as far as the statistics are concerned. As this will be a penalty corner for Husson. Four to 1 Castleton coming down on 7 minutes left in regulation. And off the penalty corner, comes outside the circle, but it's going to be Castleton with it. You know, you got to hit it outside the circle and then back into the circle after score within the 16-yard circle in field hockey. Number 12, Helen Berry for Husson. Number 1 for Castleton, Stephanie Poprosky. And number 13, Marie Amaral. They were the ones that connected on that first goal to get Castleton ready. Out there to knock it away, Kristen Keepin. Number 11 for Castleton is Heather Brock, who's got an assist in this game. Coming down on the 6-minute mark with a 3-goal lead. Tammy Landon and company have to feel pretty good, but still looking for more here. Brock, Lori, there, couldn't quite get to it. And Husson has to again pick it up a notch offensively here, trailing by 3. Ellen Berry's number 12. Number 5 is Poirier. Did hit the post in the first half, but we mentioned at the time, Kaylee, hitting the post means the shot just goes wide.
Yes.
So what it means.
Very unfortunate.
As you blend out number 33 for Husson, but it's going to be Castleton with it, controlling and a control and get inside that circle. Caitlin Briggs coming on for Castleton, number 19. This the penalty corner. So actually, it doesn't come out of the circle initially, right, Kayla? You have to make sure you bring it out yourself, right? Correct?
If the ball can come out and then you can dribble it back in,
Yeah,
you don't
you
have to personally take it out.
But you can, right?
But you can,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, if the ball is just dead there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Heather Brock, number 11. 4 minutes to go in regulation. 4-1 Castleton. I try to float it in front, knocked away, and Husson has to have a little bit of a feeling of desperation. Courtney Allen all the way back for number 4 is Jenna Charbonneau. Jenna Charbonneau along the near side for the Spartans. Number 42 is Caitlin Pelletier, but Charbonneau gets it back. Feeds it up the middle. Flory tried to get to it. Number 12 is Berry again. Castleton calmly controls again at midfield. Nice play there by Hammerall. Here's a chance in close, and it's knocked away as Courtney Nolan had an opportunity in close, but covered up nicely on the short side by Kristen Keepin. 2:55 to go in regulation. 4-1 Castleton. Spartans in good shape here to move to 3-0 in NAC play. We'll quickly go down below on our post game with Chris Thayer. And this is the part where I told you, as you mentioned, just get out of the circle if you go into sort of like a prevent defense. But right now, since you can only score within the circle and you have it in the other team's territory anyway, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself, especially with a 3-goal lead here. Trying to get to it again, Nolan. Nolan inside the circle, but couldn't quite control. And Husson has some work to do here, but coming down to the 2-minute mark remaining in regulation. Shot knocked down. It came in from Marie Amaral. Number 13 as Husson looks to control. 2 minutes now left in regulation. 4-1 Castleton. Jillian Morin dribbling. Broski and Morin. Can do that all day. Just time is on your side. 1:37 to go here. Castleton with a 4-1 lead.
Neither team is letting down either. They're both fighting to the end.
Amaral got things started back in the first half with a goal with it. Amaral trying to get to it. 1:10 to go in the game. 4-1 Castleton. Spartans in pretty good shape to chalk up their third win of the year in league play and would be 3-6 overall. Husson would drop to 1-2 in the league and 1-4 overall. As Husson, as you mentioned, fighting to the end here. 52 seconds now left in the game. Again, the penalty corner here for Husson. By the time you see, since it's running time, by the time you try to get to it, of course, it's you got to have that desperation feeling that you're not going to get it off in time here, especially when you're trying to come back. Helen Berry with it.
On a corner, if time runs out, the corner still plays out until it reaches the end of the outside of the circle.
Oh, until it reaches. Okay, so you still have the opportunity. Okay.
Yes, sir.
At any rate, 20 seconds to go here, and Castleton is going to win this field hockey game. The first one on NSN, the video cast. Courtney Nolan, number 39. 10 seconds to go. Nolan trying to feed it in front, and off the stick of Poprowski. As you hear the countdown, Poprowski's just going to hold it, and that's it. Castleton has won it 4-1. As the fist pump there by Kayla Blank. Kayla, thank you very much.
Thank you for having
me. We really
me.
appreciate it, and we are going to have some other games, and you're welcome on back with us.
Sounds good.
Thank
you
and
very much.
And Brooke Towsley as well. Good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will tell you that the goal scorers for Castleton, as we go by it here, for Castleton, getting the goals, Keely Chipman scoring, and also scoring Molly Freyer, and also scoring Sarah Flory. And in the first half, scoring was Marie Amaral, and the goal scorer for the Husson Eagles, Courtney Allen. So do we have time to get down quickly with Chris Thayer, and he's waiting for Tammy Landon, and we'll wrap it up. And Jeremy Jackson, we thank him very much. Brock had an assist. Nolan also with an assist. The Sarah Flory goal, by the way, was unassisted. And the Courtney Allen goal was assisted by number 33, Kaja Blindo. And that was the goal for Husson. And the Amaral goal assisted by Stephanie Poprowski. As Castleton wins 4-1 here at Spartan Stadium, to go to 3-0 in NAC play, 3-6 overall. The Husson Eagles 1-2 in the NAC, and now at 1-4
Back up a little
overall.
More. Back.
And that's not Chris Berman in the background going back. That's Chris Thayer trying to get the shot here, and he's signaling for Tammy Landon. And let us go down below on our postgame show. Castleton wins it by a score of 4-1 over Husson here in college field hockey. Let's go down below to Chris Thayer.
All right, thank you, Jack. I'm with Tammy Landon right now. And tell me, what does this do for your season with this big win today here against Husson?
Well, it's a absolutely tremendous conference win for us, and we knew Husson was going to be one of the top 4 competitors. We do see us hopefully in that top 4 mix. Husson, UMaine, Farmington, and St. Joe's and Maine are all going to be really competitive matches for us today. So, we're extremely happy with the 4 goals that we put in, and no doubt hoping to continue to be really successful in the conference is really our number 1 goal.
It seems like you really did a great job of ball control today, keeping that ball in their end of the of surface.
I think so. We were able to kind of lock it up into our offensive 30 quite a bit. We really asked our midfielders to work hard to get up to the top of the circle, to really keep feeding that ball in. And number 11, Heather Brock, number 14, I think, Scotty, Sarah, they work really hard in the midfield to give us that extra offensive seal in up top, and they did a nice job feeding those extra balls in that turned into goals for us, or corners.
Absolutely.
That scored.
So tomorrow you got another game here, and then you hit the road for a little bit.
No, we're still home for a while.
You
actually, yeah, we're home to the very end of the season.
Okay.
Tomorrow's competition is RPI, which is another great non-conference matchup. We put together a tough non-conference schedule that has made us grow this season. So the early season losses are what they are. We have grown through them, and our goal is to continue to be successful in the conference and learn from all those non-conference games.
Okay. Well, congratulations on today's win. It's a great job for you and the girls out there, and good luck the rest of the way. We'll see you again a couple more times out here, too.
Absolutely. Thanks,
All right. That's going to do it from down here, Jack. We're going to send it back up to you to wrap this thing up. Hey, field hockey at its best right here at Castleton College. Back to you, Jack.
All right, thank you, Chris, and we will indeed wrap it up. Kristen Cape, 9 saves for Husson. Siobhan Whittemore had a save. Dusha had 4 saves for Castleton. Again, Marie Amaral, her 3rd goal of the year from Stephanie Poprosky to put Castleton up 1-0 in the first half. And then it was Keely Chipman scoring her 5th goal of the year from Heather Brock to put Castleton up in the second half 2-0. Husson would cut the lead to 2-1 as Courtney Allen, her 5th of the year, from Kasia Blindo. That would cut the lead to 2-1, but Castleton got the 4th goal of the year from Molly Freer from Courtney Nolan to go up 3-1. Sarah Flory, her 1st goal of the year, unassisted, to put Castleton up 4-1. That's the final score for Adam Largess. And our cast of thousands here at Castleton, I'm Jack Healey, wishing you all a very pleasant good afternoon. Also for Mike Valentine, Channel 20, PEGTV in Rutland. Final score, Castleton 4 and Husson 1. Have a good afternoon, everybody.